got guys that won championships, multiple championships here, just from a head coach's standpoint, having leaders like that, and they're all talking about, you know, part of their decisions to come back to do something special next year. So that's, we're off to a good start, and glad to have these guys back. All right, is there any other questions?
I just kind of briefly talking about this, guys. The fact that Bowser comes back, and we all saw what this offense looked like when he was healthy, just knowing you have him and returning most players offensively and supplementing that talent with recruiting and transfers, how excited for you over your vision of what an offense should look like?
Yeah, it was really big. I think it was pretty easy to see when he was healthy. You know, we were really a very, very strong offense. So you know, he's a game changer. There's no doubt about that.
Alex just mentioned, you know, if he does his job right, you really should know who he is. You know, if he does something wrong, everyone knows about the long snapper, you know, snapping the ball over the head of the punter or whatever.
Yeah.
But how impressed are you with his play?
You know, that's a spot that for a lot of times people don't think about unless you don't have one. And you know, the unique thing about Alex is he's one of our team leaders too, which is really rare from a deep snapper. And he's got a great personality. He's a team first guy. You know, I don't know how many people that's turned down an invitation to play in the Reese's Senior Bowl, but I'm going to bet you could probably count them on one hand, you know. But he loves this place and wants to come back for one more year. And like I said, he'll be one of our team leaders.
Sam Jackson coming back. He's a versatile player. He's pretty much played across the board.
Yeah.
Do you have any plans for him specifically, whether it's right tackle, left tackle, or are you just happy to have him?
You know, he has the flexibility, which will really be great at the next level. He can play all positions. Matter of fact, Coach Hand, you know, had him in bowl practice playing center too. I mean, so you know, he can play all positions. He is one of those guys that's just, you know, the stability. Like, I mean, he's just one of our overall team leaders. When he talks, everyone listens. You know, he's won championships here. He knows what it takes, and he's got a great football IQ. You know, you can move him anywhere, and he knows exactly what to do. And so that was huge in the big picture, having him back.
Since we last talked, you hired Chip Lindsey to be offensive coordinator, quarterback coach.
Yeah.
What does he bring to the staff?
Yeah, Chip is a guy that you know, I know well. He knows me well. He's a great quarterback developer. I mean, he really is really strong in that area. You know, he's a guy that actually recruited Phil Kirchen. You know, played tight end for me at Auburn. Is a great player. We won the national championship. That's how we got to know each other. And he just had something special to him. So, you know, when I got the head job at Auburn, I hired him off the field to be really my right-hand man, head coach's analyst. And that's the year that we almost won the national championship. And he moves on to Southern Miss, went straight to be an offensive coordinator after that. They had a really good 2 years there, and then he went to be the OC at Arizona State and did very well. And then obviously came back to me in 2017. We were really good on offense. And really close to winning. You know, we won the SEC West, but we won together. He's been the head coach at Troy the last 3 years, and so it'll be really good for me. I'm still going to call plays, but he's going to assist me, and we're real blessed to have him.
We're all kind of learning how, you know, the new recruiting calendar works. You got high school recruiting, and maybe now it's transfer recruiting when we get to late December, early January. I know you made some early additions. I know you're not done yet. How pleased are you with the early haul of some of these transfers you've been doing?
Yeah, you know, the game's changed. I mean, you know, with the portal, it's just changed everything. And, you know, you lose a few players, and roster management is so important, and you got to replace them and add. And I've said this before, you know, I just think this is such an attractive place for transfers. And now that it's the new norm, you know, if we handle it right, it could be a huge advantage for us.
How great was it to get some of your early enrollees on campus just moved in?
Yeah, really good. You know, to go through spring, and so we just had our first team meeting, you know, about 45 minutes ago. It was great to see those new faces, introduce them to the team, and so it feels really good.
Can you talk about specific names yet, transfer-wise?
Not yet.
Okay.
Okay, not yet, but we're real close. And what we'll do, we'll have a presser here in the near future with all that, because you know it's changing. I think you see that around college football.
So just how crazy is this process like? Because you got school starting tomorrow, and then you got transfers making decisions. Is there like a deadline for when guys can get enrolled, or is that kind of something you're dealing with
you
as
know,
well?
I think most places around the country, it's usually, you know, a few days after school starts, you know, and, so there's, like I said, we had official visits this weekend, and which, you know, that's new for this time of year, during the coaches convention, but, you know, with the changes, that's just part of it, so, pretty interesting time.
How much has the Florida win helped on the recruiting trail, whether it's high school, you know, 2023, 24, and the transfers, the Florida win?
How's the
How much has it helped, I guess, or how?
helped?
Yeah.
I don't know if, I mean, like,
Is it something you talk about, or?
yeah, I think you just got, you know, if you know, managing your roster. If you lose players, you've got to replace players. And, you know, I think a challenge for a lot of programs is going to be going through spring. You know, do you have enough at each position to go through spring to have a full spring? I think that's going to be the challenge for a lot of programs, you know, as far as that goes. And so, you know, is it good? I think it's just something that, you know, whoever manages the roster the best is going to have an advantage. So hopefully we'll be one of those.
I know recruiting is, you know, a multi-year process. I know you've got a big event here later in the month. You know, social media guys are tweeting out the Hometown Hero event. The fact you beat Florida in the Gasparilla Bowl, what kind of buzz have you gotten from that win as you look to recruit these 23s and beyond?
Yeah, that's really big in the big pictures, and you know, obviously a big win. And you know, since I've been here, you know, some of the other logos in the state, and, you know, it's been tough to compete against. But it's a new day in college football. The landscape in college football is changing on a weekly basis. And I said this when I first got here, that this is the program of the future. And, you know, we're changing the narrative in this state. We're going to continue to do nothing but move up. But to answer your question, it is easier to recruit, specifically the young guys, you know, and they know what's going to happen here. And so it's been really exciting from that standpoint.
Okay.